Beneath the bustling city streets lies a forgotten secret, an old underground tunnel, once part of a subway system long abandoned and erased from maps. Time and silence have swallowed it whole, but locals whisper of a place where the darkness is alive, and those who enter simply vanish. The tunnel's entrance is hidden beneath a rusted iron grate near an old, deserted park. Overgrown vines creep along cracked concrete walls, and faint echoes seem to crawl from deep within. It's a place children dare each other to explore, and thrill-seekers slip inside hoping to uncover forgotten history, yet none return the same. For decades, stories have circulated about strange happenings, eerie flickering lights that dance without power, distant whispers that chill the blood, and cold drafts that feel almost like breath on your neck. Witnesses claim to have heard muffled footsteps trailing behind them, only to find empty air when they turn. One local elder recalls the day his brother disappeared. He went in one afternoon, just to look around, the man says, voice trembling. Hours passed, and when he didn't come out, we searched all night. But the tunnel, it swallowed him whole. No trace was ever found, no clues left behind, just an empty silence that haunts the neighborhood. Others speak of shadowy figures glimpsed just beyond the flickering lights, vanishing when approached. Some believe the tunnel is cursed, a gateway to somewhere darker, where time and space twist into an endless maze. The city's officials have long denied the tunnel's existence, but those who've dared to enter tell a different story. As night falls and the city's noise fades, the tunnel waits, patient, silent, and hungry. Those who venture into its depths face a terrifying choice, to uncover the truth or become another lost soul in the legend of the vanishing tunnel. What lurks beneath the city's surface? The answer lies in the darkness, if you dare to look. A few months after the first disappearance, a group of 4 urban explorers armed with flashlights and cameras decided to uncover the truth behind the vanishing tunnel. They called themselves the Shadow Seekers, driven by curiosity and the promise of a viral video. Their plan: enter the tunnel, document everything, and return with proof. Their last known location was recorded just inside the entrance, where the air grew thick and cold, and the faint hum of city life above disappeared beneath a crushing silence. The footage begins shaky, handheld cameras catching glimpses of graffiti-covered walls, scattered debris, and rusted pipes dripping water. A low, distant rumble echoes, almost like whispers carried through the cold stone. As they venture deeper, the lights begin to flicker, casting unsettling shadows that seem to stretch and twist unnaturally along the tunnel walls. The group's nervous laughter fades as footsteps echo from dark corners, footsteps that don't belong to any of them. One explorer, camera trained on a faint glow ahead, whispers about seeing a figure disappearing around a bend. The tension thickens. Suddenly, the footage becomes chaotic, frantic breathing, quick turns, and hurried footsteps. Shouts of, "Where are you?" and "Don't split up," echo through the tunnels, but only silence answers. One by one, the cameras drop, catching only blurry shapes and sudden darkness. The last shot is a chilling close-up of wide, terrified eyes before the video cuts out. The abandoned footage was found days later near the tunnel entrance, but the shadow seekers themselves were never seen again. Authorities dismissed it as a prank gone wrong, but locals know better. They say the tunnel doesn't just swallow people, it erases them, leaving behind only whispers and cold shadows. The footage remains the only window into what truly happens beneath the city, a haunting reminder that some places are better left unexplored. Will anyone ever find the shadow seekers? Or are they lost forever in the endless darkness of the vanishing tunnel? When the disappearance of the shadow seekers made headlines, a specialized rescue team was dispatched to investigate the vanishing tunnel. Equipped with high-tech gear, radios, and mapping devices, they entered the depths with confidence. What awaited them, however, was far beyond any expectation. The team's radio chatter crackled steadily at first, reporting progress and describing the maze-like corridors of the tunnel. Their flashlights pierced through layers of dust and grime, illuminating long-forgotten signs and broken tracks. But soon, the messages grew strange, whispers mixed with static, faint voices repeating words that no one recognized. Minutes later, a team member's voice broke through with urgency. "We're not alone down here, something's moving in the shadows." Then silence. A pause. And a final, blood-curdling scream that cut through the radio feed before the connection was lost. Search efforts above ground intensified, but the rescue team had vanished without a trace. Their last known location was deep inside the tunnel's labyrinth, where no light reached and maps lost meaning. Days later, emergency radios were recovered, lying on the cracked floor of a forgotten chamber, but when powered on, all they emitted was low static and faint, chilling whispers. Locals claim to have heard those whispers echoing faintly near the tunnel entrance, desperate calls for help, pleas for rescue, and sometimes incoherent warnings. The authorities sealed off the tunnel, declaring it unsafe, but curiosity lingers in the hearts of the brave and the foolish. What did the rescue team encounter? What horrors lurk so deep that even the trained cannot survive? The vanishing tunnel guards its secrets jealously, swallowing those who seek to uncover the truth, and now, even those sent to save have become part of its growing legend. Beneath the city, the darkness waits, patient and unyielding. And in the silent depths, the last cries for help still echo, unanswered. Whispers among the locals speak of something more than just darkness lurking in the vanishing tunnel. Over the years, those brave enough to venture inside have described an unseen presence, an entity that watches, waits, and manipulates the very fabric of the underground maze. Sightings are rare but terrifying. Some explorers tell of shadowy figures that flicker just beyond the edge of their flashlight beams, vanishing the moment they focus their gaze. Others hear faint voices calling their names in twisted echoes, luring them deeper into the labyrinth. A cold, unnatural chill seems to follow those who enter, as if the very air itself resists their presence. One survivor who barely escaped spoke of a figure cloaked in darkness, a towering silhouette with eyes glowing faintly red. It moved silently, always just out of reach, but its gaze alone was enough to freeze the blood. It wasn't human, the survivor whispered, voice trembling. It felt like the tunnel's own soul, something ancient, angry, and hungry. Theories abound. Some say the entity is the restless spirit of a long-forgotten worker who died during the tunnel's construction. Others believe it to be a malevolent force, born from the countless souls lost beneath the city. Paranormal investigators who tried to capture proof came away with malfunctioning equipment and tales of unexplainable phenomena. What is clear is that the tunnel is not just a place, it's a living nightmare. Time bends and twists, light warps, and reality frays in its depths. Those who hear the entity's call often disappear, leaving behind only whispers and shadows. The vanishing tunnel guards its darkest secret, an entity that feeds on fear, trapping souls forever in an endless underground prison. And it waits patiently, ready to claim its next victim. Few who enter the vanishing tunnel ever return. But there is one story, a survivor's tale, that haunts the city like a whisper on the wind. He was a lone explorer, drawn by the mystery, who descended into the tunnel with a flashlight and a map. Hours passed, then days. The deeper he went, the more the tunnel seemed to shift around him, corridors twisting impossibly, entrances disappearing, and darkness thickening like a living thing. Time lost meaning. Clocks on his watch spun wildly. His flashlight flickered, casting distorted shadows that seemed to reach for him. Strange sounds echoed endlessly, distant footsteps that never got closer, muffled voices whispering warnings he could barely understand. Days blurred into nights. Hunger and fear gnawed at him. Yet he pressed on, driven by a flicker of hope and sheer desperation. The tunnel was no ordinary place, it was a labyrinth designed to trap, confuse, and consume. At his lowest moment, he stumbled upon a faint light, a crack of dawn or an exit. With trembling hands, he pushed forward, feeling the cold grip of the tunnel's darkness loosen. Finally, he emerged into the early morning light, gasping and disoriented. But the escape came with a price. He was changed, haunted by visions and nightmares, unable to forget the endless maze below. Some say he still hears the tunnel calling, whispering his name in the dark. The vanishing tunnel remains, a place where time, space, and sanity twist together in a deadly trap. And though one has escaped, many more have been lost forever, swallowed by the darkness beneath the city. The legend continues, waiting for its next victim.